Hello there, my name is Malika, and I love to talk about movies. And today we're going to be talking about one that isn't my normal go to movie genre. I'm not a big war movie fan. However, this one was done very, very well. And in fact, it's been dubbed the greatest war movie of all time, and it definitely has earned this title. Now, it was released in 1998, and it's about World War II in 1944. The storyline of this movie is about a group of soldiers who are tasked with a very special mission to find Private Ryan, saving Private Ryan. Now, why are they saving this guy? It's because he had three other brothers in this war and all of them died kind of back to back. And the colonels and all the people in charge did not want to send four letters to this mother saying that all four of her children had died. So they put these guys on a special mission to save Private Ryan. Now, the initial battle scene where the troops are coming onto the beach in ships, that is what made this movie so famous because, according to people who have survived the war, it was very, very realistic, which of course can be very traumatizing also for people, not just people who have been in war, but people watching this. It was very gruesome, very hard to watch. So much blood in the water that the water was just red. It was a very graphic scene, but they did it so well. And you can really see how difficult this war would have been on people to deal with and to make it through. Tom Hanks is playing the leader of this group of guys, and he leads them into very dangerous territories to try and find this guy because nobody knows where he is or exactly what platoon he's in because everything gets so kind of mixed up when you're in a war. People lose their whole crew, so they have to join up with other crews. They're just not sure where he is. So they have to go through a lot of different things in order to get them. And one of the things that happens is they're going through a city who is very devastated by this war, and the buildings are half gone. There's this family, and they want them to take the kids to go to safety instead of being in this building that is half gone. And one of the soldiers decides to go get her, even though everyone's like, no, don't do it. And of course, a sniper gets him. And that's one of the ways that war can be so difficult, I guess. And what they were trying to show is that the humanity has to be gone because you have to save yourself. It's just not feasible to be able to save everybody in such a difficult environment. And yet they're on this mission to save one man. It's kind of interesting how it plays out in that way. Now, as expected, the guys that are in this group are kind of like, why are we going around to save this one dude? Why is he so special? I want to go home. I've got brothers. So there's been a lot of kind of infighting that happens with that. And there's one guy in particular who's not a soldier. He's actually interpreter and he writes this paper, I believe, and he's just a wimp. You can tell that he's never had real life experiences, and he actually at one point gets close with one of the German prisoners, and he doesn't want them to off the guy, which as a humanitarian, you think, yes, it's the right thing to do to let him go. But all the other soldiers are like, hello, he's going to go join forces and he's going to end up killing our guys. So there's this whole struggle that happens with that, with a guy that has no idea how life really is and the guys who are hardened to how life really is. So there has to be some sort of balance that we can find, and they don't find it in this movie. And I don't believe we find it ever in war because there's always going to be two sides that hate each other, and there's just nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. At one point, one of the missions, they find Private Ryan and they think, oh, this is great, we found him, finally we can go home. And they start telling him, oh, your brothers have passed, I'm so sorry to tell you this. And he's like, what happened? And they're like, well, they died in the war. And he's like, but they're in elementary school. So that was kind of a lighthearted moment where, oh, wrong guy, sorry, your brothers are fine. And he's kind of still freaking out. Oh my gosh, are you sure my brothers are okay? That was a kind of a funny scene that happened there. But when they do find the real Ryan, he refuses to leave the people he's with because they are trying to hold this bridge. And if that bridge falls, then they feel like they're going to lose the war. So even though they found him, he was refusing to leave. He's like, no, tell my mom what you need to tell her, that I refuse to leave my post. But the Tom Hanks character named Miller, he decides that he's going to use these guys that he's with to help them defend this bridge so that they can bring Ryan home. He wants to complete this mission. He feels like if they can complete that mission, they've accomplished something in this war. Because, of course, war can feel like this never ending battle that doesn't really solve anything, especially not for soldiers. So Miller takes command, and they actually are able to succeed, and they defend this bridge. But in the process, the guy who they released is the one who ends up shooting Miller. And the guy who defended this German soldier mans up finally and shoots him, because then he sees and realizes, oh, life isn't all rainbows and roses, and the people who are trying to hurt you probably are always going to try to hurt you because their opinion is different than yours, right? And he finally realizes it, and he takes care of the situation. Now at the end, as Miller is passing, he tells the guy in charge now that send them home. They've earned it. They had to go into these dangerous areas and rescue this one guy. And so that's kind of where the movie ends. I do not do justice to this movie chat at all. I don't tell you 99% of what happens in this movie, but it's just kind of a little taste of what the movie was about. And of course, we all know what the movie chats are truly about. So who cares if I can't really explain a movie well, right? I hope you enjoyed this Movie Chat Monday, and I hope to see you next Monday. Bye-bye.